And it's like, that's the same thing with descriptions, that GPT that I put in there for video descriptions. Yes. If I took the time, if I actually did that, which I just don't do it. So it's like finding these things that do the things that you wouldn't actually do. Like I
Yeah, you
don't
wouldn't do it.
follow up as well as I'd like to do with my leads at all. So
But it's
yes,
way better to be
maybe
following
my
up.
weird meme that I came up with, the follow up might be a good follow up, but I don't do it half the time. So like, it's more like you're not doing it anyways. So use automation. What else is it? There's so many good time savers these days. I use CapCut to make my reels when I do make, when I personally make them. Um, you guys probably use,
We use
executive assistants. Do you guys use executive assistants or like?
sometimes.
I'm
We
just
use
gonna
CapCut.
ask, okay,
Um,
if you guys use or like
you're talking about like VAs?
virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Who do you guys use for that?
As of right now, we don't have like a company we go to. We'll just go through like, well, I mean, I guess we do. We'll go through Upwork or Fiverr. So
I
we're
just think it's good to like remind people that not only it's automation to save time, it's finding VAs for things that are reproducible.
yep.
I use VAs for social growth. So like
Mm.
following and friending and stuff like that, and
Oh
liking
yeah.
and not commenting. Cause I think, my guys are in Africa and I just, but English isn't their first language. We use,
Yeah.
so we work with Era, what is it? Era 92 is the company. Area 92 Creative, and we use those guys for era92.com.
Arrow.
Era,
Era.
ERA92.com. We use those guys for VAs basically, and graphic design VA stuff. So a social VA. So if you see like my, like, and I would say like, even though I'm kind of saying them as a company and maybe they'll watch this, they're a little bit more to manage. The lower cost stuff is more to manage, right? So like I would prefer to to have, really, I hate that I'm saying this because somebody's probably gonna reach out to them and that will direct their attention to this podcast or whatever. But I'm just being real, which is like I wish I didn't have to manage them as much. And I think that that's always the trade-off with services. Sometimes like Hook agency is more expensive, but we're not as much to manage because we manage ourselves, right?
Yep.
Like as far as like SEO goes and stuff like that. Like the same goes, like I hope to over time not have a service like this that I don't have to manage as much. But if you need a cheaper service, they're really good. So that's always like the trade-off with these things is like you find VAs that can do repetitive tasks. Don't try to get them to do crazy strategic tasks. Like the
Yep.
more you define, the better the thing's going to get. But like we should always be automating and delegating easy stuff to VAs. And I'm okay with the fact I have like 5 outside resources that I use. This is just one of them. I use
Yeah.
like I have college students editing reels too. You know what I mean? Like I have a guy to manage all that inside my company. So there's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm spending a lot of money on these things, but I'm like trying to, and I think it should all be our goal is to just get an inordinate amount of attention, like unnecessary amount of attention. I do think reels and TikToks is essentially where a lot of attention is. If you look at your phone app and you look at how much you spent like on different apps, that's a good one. But also look at like your wife's, how much she's spending on different apps. Like, and like, ideally we'd like if you have really good rapport with a homeowner that is a good customer to you, like if you could get them to show you their time spent on their phone, like on
Mm-hmm.
different apps, that would be a cool, like little, like, and it do
Little
that
video.
instead of like review one day. Just say, hey, could I just, I'm going to pick your brain for a second. Could I just see how much time you're spending on different apps? I'm looking at social media
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out if she is that 42-year-old woman. Is she that's like an example of an ideal customer for us? Is she on Instagram? Is she on
Yeah.
Facebook? Is she on TikTok? Like, what
Yeah.
is she really on? Because then you should try to dominate those times, those places that they're spending a lot of time on. And I'm just like, yeah, I think our goal should be to get basically unnecessary amounts of attention for our business, because that puts us in a much better position when we do need to do business development. And like, it shouldn't all be business development. That's a big mistake. That's one last mistake, a bonus a thing that I think people should fix. Stop just pitching on your social media accounts. Like, God damn it. No
Yeah.
one wants to see your phone number again, man. No offense. If somebody's watching this and you're just every single post is like you pitching on your Facebook, like literally no one's watching anymore. You made it into a ghost town because the good news is there's redemption available, which is all you have to do is just make a tutorial on like how to clean out your downspout and things like that, like 10 times in a row, and you can rebrand your company as no longer this constantly pitching company on social media to a helpful, wildly, and share those little videos, those tips, 1 minute reels or whatever to Facebook groups in your area that homeowners are frequenting.
Mm.
And boom, you can rebrand your company. But if you're just sitting there pitching, your brand right now is what do you call that?
It's
Bam.
yeah,
Or, like what else do they call that when you're just sitting there pitching all
just
day?
pitching. I mean, it's I mean, commission breath, maybe. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
you got
kind of
commission
it's
breath.
similar to that. It's similar to that. It's not quite the same thing, but it's well, it's kind of I think it comes from a place of being very focused on you and your company, which is like you
Mhm,
need to be selfish in a way, like when you're building a company. But ultimately, if you're going to attract customers, it's not they don't care about your company the way you care about your company. They only care about what your company can do for them. And so, and then the best way that you can convince them of that is to immediately create value. It's
mhm.
way more impactful than just giving shooting your phone number towards them
But
multiple.
AJ but AJ, and I'm just gonna play the other side for a second. Why would I spend the time to create content when I can just give them my phone number? No, it's like it is work, right? Like
Yeah,
marketing
Yeah, it's definitely
should
work.
be work. Like
we're going through
that
this, yeah.
if and like we were talking about before this, like we want you guys want this podcast to be you're trying to make more entertaining content. Entertainment is harder than just like tutorials. Like it's almost easier to just do tutorials. So like beyond as you and I know that there's some roofing companies doing this really well out there. Probably some that are watching or listening to this. And you guys that are beyond tutorials and you're not just doing like how to and like tips and you're getting into like funny stuff, you're doing memes, you're doing cute, you got the cat next to the shingles or whatever, like the dog with the kid and like you guys that are doing that, like that is the next level, right? Like beyond tutorials and tips and up to entertainment. So like that's to me, that's the ultimate aspiration in all roof, like in addition to training and helping homeowners to better take care of their home, to like actually get them to laugh or to man, if you could get them to laugh or get
Red
them to like
Bull. Red
swoon.
Bull's a
Yeah.
Red Bull is
They're
the greatest
yeah,
example of what you're saying right now. So Red
Mhm.
they're
Bull
doing it
is
for
an energy
years.
drink, but Red Bull is known for extreme whatever,
Yeah.
driving a motorcycle off the side of a mountain
Mhm.
and base jumping from that. Like,
Yeah.
but it's entertaining, and they
Mm.
found their lane for what that is. Like, don't try to be somebody else. That if you're
Mhm.
listening to this, don't try to be entertaining in a different way. Do something
Yeah.
that you think you're good at, or you think that you like to record or create content with, and do that thing. It's not funny. Like Red Bull's not funny necessarily.